Thokozani Bagwantu, Ninjani. How is everyone doing? Welcome to our home. Welcome to our channel. Please, if you are new, please subscribe. Hit that black subscribe button. Comment, like, share. Welcome once again. And to those who are returning, you are most welcome. Today, I want us to talk about the new season we just entered on the 23rd of April, and this is the season of ANPU, the season of the energy or principle, which is called ANPU. Now, ANPU is often depicted as a man, right, with the head of a jackal. A man with the head of a jackal, or most commonly his animal is a black jackal. And I'll explain to you why that is so. Our ancestors, in their greatest wisdom, observed the actions of a jackal. And a jackal, we know, is a scavenger. It's a wild dog. And therefore, it takes its carrion, or the flesh of dead animals that it gathers, and it actually buries this for a while. And then when it starts to decompose to a certain level, the jackal then takes it back out from where it dug it, and then it eats it. This is why ANPU is associated with the energy of transmutation. Transmutation is the conversion of one form of something into a totally different form. That is the alchemic process of transmutation. And ANPU is also associated in ancient Kemetic times with being the guardian of graves and the guardian of tombs. His color is black, hence you see I am all a black, and I'm wearing the Kemetic cloth in black to represent the season of ANPU. This is the color that most connects us with the energy of ANPU. So if you want to connect with ANPU, black is your color. It's a very potent color. A lot of people associate black with darkness. I know that a lot of young initiates and initiation schools are often terrified of the color black. They associate it with dark magic or what you would call witchcraft. This is not so. Actually, black is a powerful, potent color. That tells you too that we are in a very potent season, which is the season of ANPU. Now, bear in mind that the season of ANPU falls into that period in the southern hemisphere where we are in the womb of our set. That period of being in the womb of our set started when? It started with the autumn equinox, which was the 23rd of March, going all the way through until the 23rd of September. So during this period, as I've said before, we are less physical. So physicality in terms of being able to do things is diminished. However, spiritually, we're actually very powerful if you tap into that energy. And it ties in beautifully with the season of ANPU, because ANPU, being the guardian of graves, or the guardian, if you like, of the Duat. The Duat is the realm of the ancestors. Duat is the Mother Nature term for the realm, if you like, the spiritual realm where the ancestors reside. And so during this season, that portal between the physical world and the Duat, or the realm of the ancestors, is open or guarded by ANPU. What does this mean for you in a practical sense? This is a potent time to be partnering and talking to your ancestors, because now that distance, if you like, between you in the physical and the ancestral realm is very, very small because of this open portal. The other thing to remember is, because your physicality is diminished, If you have been doing your spiritual exercises, spending a lot of time in meditation, spending a lot of time meditating and manifesting, then your spirit is very much active and powerful at this time. So you are able better spiritually to connect with your ancestors at this time. We know that at this time, particularly with the great empire of Kemet, with Mkhulu Nsingiza and the family back in South Africa, this is also a powerful time where we are doing our collective umpahlo with the consciousness that we have an open portal right now through which to collectively deposit our desires and the things that we want to see manifest in the physical come September, when physicality is back, when it's spring and everything starts anew. So this is a really potent, powerful season for meditation. If you have not been meditating, you are really missing out on the perfect time to really, really manifest the things that you want. So that is the energy of ANPU. ANPU is also associated with Ma'at. ANPU is who leads the spirit of the departed into what we call the chamber of Ma'at. What is the chamber of Ma'at? Our ancestors, as they told the story, is the space where he, ANPU, holds the scales of Ma'at and then weighs your heart against a feather. Now, remember that there is no judgment in spirituality. There is no deity or God who comes to say, your heart is heavier than a feather. But you observe as your heart is put in this part of the scale against the feather, and you self-judge and realize that, yeah, I probably won't make a good ancestor if I stick around here. And this is where amit consumes your heart, meaning you are going to be a spirit that will reincarnate, right? Many of us have reincarnated and will reincarnate until we get our heart right. Therefore, the season of ANPU is a great time to look at your heart chakra. There is a big problem with us as Bagwantu, which is that our condition, our oppression, our enslavement and colonization has had us stuck in the first three chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. Many of us do not go to our grave, if you like, having reached and worked on the heart chakra. This is a perfect time to align and work with that heart chakra. It all ties in beautifully with videos that I've done, which talk about looking at your wounds, the mother wound, the father wound, forgiveness. Why? Because those things are the things that weigh your heart down. You know, this is the time to look at your way of being and living and existing with nature and the world. Are you doing right by others? Are you doing right by your family, your friends? Are you doing right by your children? Are you doing right by your community and a collective? One way which you can do right by your collective, and this is a very important thing, is, are you in unity of mind and heart? What does that mean? Do you support Black businesses? Are you one of those people who shies away from the businesses of your brothers and sisters because, well, for whatever colonial reason and colonial enslavement, you think that whatever products they're selling you are inferior to those that are sold by other people? This is the time to think about your state of being and your heart. We are obliged as Bagwantu to help each other. We are obliged as an obligation to support Black businesses. And I say this and mean it as somebody who lives by this. I would rather drive an extra 20, 30 minutes to visit a fruit shop that is owned by one of my own than to go to the grocery store It's convenient. It's 10 minutes away from my house to shop there. Why? Because I consciously choose to spend my physical, my financial currency, as well as my spiritual currency with my community. That is how, as a collective, we're going to come together. And so during this season of ANPU, this is the time to look at your heart, to look at the way you relate to your brothers and sisters in the collective, to look at what you feel or think about the problems or the issues we have within our community. Are you somebody who's looking in your community and wanting to distance yourself from our problems? Or are you somebody who looks at our community and says, how can I be a solution? How can I be the change that I want to see within my community? So these are some of the practical things that you can do to work on your heart, right? This is the time to look at our ills within our community and work on yourself, because a lot of the times the things you cannot stand in your Black brothers and sisters are things you cannot stand in yourself. Work on those. It all starts with you. And so when you work on that heart chakra, Ma'at is about the heart chakra. That is why she has a scale with a feather in one part of the scale, and your heart is weighed against that feather. The heart chakra is a very important thing. And when your heart is heavy, you vibrate low. When your heart is heavy and you have no love for self to begin with. And therefore you cannot love your brothers and sisters, because you can't give that which you don't have. And so this is a good time to look at self-love. And by self-love, I don't mean the fact that you go for massages or you get your nails done and your makeup is always on fleek and you're wearing the best hairstyle. Those are superficial, external elements, and I would call those self-care, not self-love. Self-love is about looking at yourself in your entirety, with your shadow self, the things that you don't like about yourself, and integrating them and accepting that this is who you are and loving all of you regardless. That will give you the ability to love your brothers and sisters as and when you come across them. In their weakness, in their brokenness, you are able to love. This season of ANPU, that is something you can really focus on. And I want you to meditate on these things I'm saying. Please don't just watch my videos and go away and think, oh my God, that was so great. This is not church, okay? This is not church where you come on Sunday, you are motivated for the couple of hours or minutes that you watch, and then you go away to do the exact same thing. We're about transformation. We're about elevation. We're about raising consciousness here. So you need to take these things. The journey is yours. It's entirely up to you. My job is to deliver to you so that you can work with the energies and principles as they come about to your benefit, the way our ancestors did, by observing nature and then using timing, which is very important in the work that we do in the spiritual space. And all we do is to align with nature. And nature is what? The movement of the calendar, which is essentially the movement of the earth around the sun and the prevalent energies at each particular period for the 12 seasons that we have, right? So that's ANPU for you. Another thing about ANPU, ANPU controls the processes of decay, right? I've explained the jackal, how it buries and its carrion or its dead carcass, and then that is transformed through the process of decay to a point where the jackal can consume it and it can digest it, right? Transmutation. But this process of decay, I want us to look at what in your life needs to decay and go. What in your life has already decayed but you are holding on to, meaning it no longer serves you. What in your life is a baggage, or that is baggage that you can literally put down because it's decayed, it is of no use to you. I'll do another video where we talk about how you can transmute energy, because really that is very important. That is an important aspect of alchemy. That is an important aspect of our spirituality. But in the meantime, I do want you to take a pen and paper and write down those things that are rotten in your life, right? And I don't mean this in a I'm sorry, I just had an intrusion of a thought, which is that who are the rotten apples? Well, yeah, maybe better to call them rotten apples or the rotten people in your life. Write those things down. Because we are going to, I'll come back with an exercise of how we transmute energy, or how we can alchemize and turn something that is supposed to harm you into something that is going to be an auxiliary for life. One of the things Bagwantu may not know about us is, they've been trying to unalive us for centuries, right? You know this. They have been poisoning the food system, the water systems, GMOs, you name it. All of it has been with the intention of unaliving us, but yet we're still here. How do you think that is? We consume so much in terms of pesticides and insecticides and other sides. How come we are still here? Because we have a natural process of transmuting poison into something that can make us live, poison into medicine, right? Our ancestors were masters at this. And so I'll do a video where we talk a little bit more about this. But back to this season of ANPU. Like I said, ANPU is the guardian of the Duat, or the realm of the ancestors. He's mostly pictured either sitting on a tomb or a coffin, or sometimes he's pictured with 1,000 skulls around his feet and the scale of Ma'at in one hand. He looks like a pretty grim character, but I love the season of ANPU because the season of ANPU is magical if you know how to tap into that energy. Also, as an initiated spiritualist and initiated Sangoma, this season is very important, and I hope my colleagues are listening carefully. Hello. This is the season for those children who are ancestrally gifted, your twasas, your initiates. This is the time to assist them with better and more effective ways to communicate with their ancestors, because that portal is open. In actual fact, this is the perfect season, the season of ANPU, from the 23rd of April going all the way to the 22nd of May. This is the perfect season to bring in initiates into your initiation schools, Igodlwen. This is the time where you do amagobongo, you pagamisa amagobongo. It's a perfect time to connect them and to start the process of connecting them with their ancestors by giving them the right herbs, the right medicines to assist and facilitate that process. This is the perfect time to do ingoto. This is a medicine or herb that assists in opening even further portals whereby these initiates can connect with the spirits that they work with. A very, very powerful and potent time for this. So, all those who are bringing in Amatwasa at weird times of the year, not such a good thing. There are many things about our practices that we have lost. We've lost the wisdom of our ancestors because we've been so misaligned with this Gregorian calendar. And realigning with that, you will see how effective it is. I went to initiation school in... When did I go to initiation school? It was during the period of our set anyway. I think I went in January and I was there up until March. So I was also in that season where we are more spiritual than we are physical. And I tell you, my processes were very, very quick. My processes, everything I needed to do, the connections that I needed to make with the other side, it all happened effectively. Right, so I did not go in the season of ANPU, but I did go in that season of spiritual versus physicality. So I went in there and everything went well. This is why sometimes you find you bring your initiates in at the wrong time, and things are slow going. You try this and you try that, but nothing goes because it is not the right time. The perfect time to do it is this season of ANPU, because literally he is the guardian. This is the prevailing energy that opens the way to the ancestral realm. So it is easier for your initiates to make that connection, to get the messages and the instructions that they need. This is also a perfect time, like I said before, to phahla, because once again, anything major you want to phahla for, this is the time to do it, because ANPU is there as guardian of the ancestral realm and will assist. However, Thokozine, the best way to approach this ANPU season is in that state of spiritual purity. This is where your cleansing becomes important. For those of you who are not in the on the African continent, this is not me plugging you, but if you need help with cleansings, do get in touch. I think I put my website in the description box here on YouTube. Go ahead and click there and you will see what offerings they are. But really, cleansing is so important, guys, because just as this portal is open for you to communicate with your ancestors, this portal is also open for those spirits that have nowhere to go and that are just roaming around. And so it's important to cleanse you. It's important to make sure you're cleansed, you're protected. It is important to make sure that your space is cleansed and protected at all times, so that you don't have imposter spirits that are coming in and making your life not what it should be, right? You never want any spirits that are uninvited around you or in your space. Masithokozeni. Remember also, ANPU is known as the energy of discernment. ANPU is that energy that assists you in choosing and discerning what is right and what is wrong, both for you, for your family, for your friends, for the collective. The spirit of discernment is the ability to be able to use wisdom to choose. So you are with the master magician and the wisest of all, our set, during this season. And then you add discernment, which is the season of ANPU. And you are then able to ask for assistance from this energy to support you where you need to exercise wisdom and where you need to exercise discernment, right? So very important. The other thing is ANPU is also guardian of the subconscious. Remember, I think there's a video that I did on why people's manifestations are failing, and I talked about how your subconscious runs 90% of your life. It's those subconscious narratives that are running in the background, sort of like your hard drive on your computer, right? You have your hard drive and then you have your desktop. Your hard drive is really where you store things that you're not using on a daily. The subconscious is pretty much like that. And so because your subconscious doesn't distinguish good or bad, right or wrong, whatever you feed in your subconscious from your conscious mind is what is going to manifest. Therefore, during this season, you really want to guard your thoughts, right? Now, that's really like, how do I guard my thoughts? Well, you become conscious. It's all about conscious living and being in full awareness of what thoughts are you spending most of your time on. Are you spending most of your day in negative thinking, or are you quickly redirecting your thoughts? Negative thoughts will come. I mean, on a daily basis, you probably filter out a lot of negative thoughts. The key is not to dwell on those negative thoughts. Acknowledge that the negative thought is there and then redirect your thinking. You have that power to redirect your thinking. Remember, everything is energy, everything is frequency. Your thoughts are frequency. Your thoughts are energy. And once you dwell on a particular thought or frequency over and over again, it gets shoved into the hard drive, which is your subconscious, and therefore that starts manifesting in your life. If you're always on some, I'm broke, I'm so broke, God, I'm so broke, geez, I'm so broke. And throughout the day, that is almost a mantra that you're singing. You're broke. Guess what you're going to manifest? Broke. You hear people talking about the self-fulfilling prophecy. This is really what they're talking about. You keep saying something over and over again, it gets shoved into your subconscious, and that thing becomes the thing that manifests. That becomes almost like the soundtrack of your life. I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. Well, you're broke. The subconscious heard you're broke, and then the subconscious gives you back what you fed it from your conscious mind. You're broke. Right? Oh, I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well. I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. I'm sick. I'm not feeling well. Well, your subconscious says, oh, okay, you're sick. Let's manifest that. You manifest illness. So what you're consciously thinking, monitor and guard those thoughts and redirect them. Acknowledge that somebody has made you mad in the morning. I'm really upset with this person. But don't dwell on it all day. Every 10 minutes. Yeah, but this person, you know what they did to me. Yeah, but this person, whoever's listening, you know, this person did this to me today. Yeah, you're on the phone, you're talking to this one. You will not believe what this one did to me today. You're on the phone, you're in emails, you're on WhatsApp. You are dwelling on this. What are you doing to yourself? You're feeding your subconscious a very negative narrative, and you're also lowering your vibration, because those things weigh heavy on your heart. And so you're weighed heavy on your heart, you're vibrating low. Tell me what happens to your manifestation game. Well, for starters, you're not even focused on your manifestation by that time, right? Your manifestation has become the negative things that you're thinking, and you're feeding and you're feeding and you're feeding. So I hope this has been useful for you guys. We will talk a little bit more. Like I said, I really want to go deep into transmutation, because what I'd love to do with these videos is give you practical things to do. So I've already given you one practical thing to do, right? Let's think about all the rotten stuff that's in your life, all the decaying or decayed stuff that needs to go, that has no place in your life anymore. Write it down. Right? And I'm talking from the physical things that are in your life. Look, it goes from everything, right? If you have a closet full of clothes that you do not wear and you know you will never wear, why are you cluttering your space up? Right? If you are a hoarder, right, and you've got things in your basement, you've got things that are like falling out of cupboards that you no longer use, you know you're not going to use them. You've got broken stoves, broken microwave, broken toaster. I don't know what people collect. People who have, for some reason, they have a fear of throwing away. That stuff is cluttering your energy field within your space, and therefore within yourself. It's rotten. It's decaying. It's useless. Write those things down. Get rid of them. Right? Get rid of them. Because the minute you get rid of dead and decaying stuff, what are you doing? You're creating energetically and spiritually. You're creating space for the new and the fresh, for those things that can serve you. What is an old toaster and a dead microwave going to do for you? Nothing. But you clear out space, you might actually be inspired to get you a new microwave, or somebody might just gift you something to replace that dead and decaying thing. It's all about energy. It's all about frequency. It's all about magic. It's all about manifestation. And our ancestors lived intelligently. This is the thing that people don't understand. It's such a scientific way of living that, yeah, we come from greatness, guys. I really hope that these teachings show you, at least give you a glimpse of the greatness that we come from. Tina, Bagwantu, basekemu. Yes, the melanated beings, the firstborns of the world. All the technology, all the amazing structures you see all over the world, they were created by our ancestors. How? Because they lived in alignment with nature and they lived intelligently. So I hope this has been useful for you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share it out to your friends. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my next upload. Masithokozeni.